Today I want to show you how I built this awesome 3-point carryall without taking up too much of your time. As I was originally building it, I did a 3-part series showing every bolt and every screw and talking through every decision, but that series is over an hour long, so let's do the cliff notes. The first thing you're going to need is a 3-point carryall frame, which is available at most Tractor Supply stores for a reasonable price. The problem is, a lot of those frames are not quick hitch compatible and may not have all the features you need. So here you see us doing a little bit of metal work. So if you don't care about quick hitch compatibility, you can just take your frame and move on to the next step where we're adding the wood. But to me, it's a big deal. And on this particular quick hitch, there wasn't room for the top hook. So we had to cut out where the top hook goes. And then I was concerned that might have weakened the area, so we welded some support across the top of the frame to keep that structural integrity. We're just using random scrap metal that we had laying around for these upgrades. At this point, it's technically quick hitch compatible, but there's still an issue with not having enough room to get your hooks in. I've seen people put 1x lumber on the face of the frame, but we used flat bar stock and welded it on so that it's a permanent attachment. The next upgrade we made to the quick hitch frame was adding a spot for a receiver. If you don't have access or the skill to do this metal work, I have seen this receiver mounted directly onto the wood, but I thought attaching it to the frame itself would give it more strength. Next, we added a couple of hooks onto the top of the frame for chain mounting. I basically put chain hooks on everything. I figure you can't have too many. With all the metal work done, I painted the frame black and took it back to my shop where we started attaching the wooden box. For me, I wanted mine to be 5 foot wide, so I bought 2x12 by 10 inch treated lumber and cut each one in half. That gave me 6 pieces that were 2 inch by 12 inch by 5 foot long. 3 for the vertical surface and 3 for the horizontal surface. Then we used 1/2 inch by 3 inch lag bolts that were galvanized with galvanized washers and nuts. Even though it was welded onto the angle iron, I still used the same bolts to bolt the receiver onto the wooden frame. Now, if you're using this to carry a lot of long material, you might even want to stop at this point right here, because adding sides restricts the length of material you can use. I got a couple of 8 foot long 2x12s to make the sides out of. Attach those to the bottom and the end with deck screws. That doesn't give you the strength you need, but it was a starting point. I'm using our homemade pneumatic pocket hole drilling station, but for the number of holes we're doing here, the $20 Craig jig from Lowe's would work. As I was prepping this for outdoor use, I tried to use all galvanized, but these zinc-plated Craig screws are not really weather resistant. So I should have at least pointed these holes upward instead of down where rain can collect. Now I'm sliding in a tailgate that's going to help keep small materials in. You could make this the full height of the carryall, but for now, I only went with the 12-inch height. We use these chest handles for our products all the time because they're collapsible, makes it convenient. They're not sticking out in the way of anything. The only other thing I want to do here is build a spot to set this and make this a workbench on top. Set right there. but I'd actually flip it over. So we have a tailgate that doubles as a workbench. The main use for that in my mind would be setting a chainsaw to sharpen it, but really you could do a lot of different things up there. Now I'm using some simple brackets from Lowe's to hang an axe on one side and a sledgehammer on the other. So the next thing I'm going to do is put a removable rack out of 2x4s on the back of this. I'm going to use the same brackets I used before for the splitting maul and just attach these 8 inches from the frame up high and down low, and then slide a 2x4 through it. If you were recreating this and you wanted this same top board for tool storage like I'm doing, you could use the same brackets I just had or some PVC pipe to create your own tool holders. You can also use a couple slats of wood to make a scabbard and put a chainsaw up here. But what I'm doing is using the Artilian modular tool rack and mounting it to the top of this. After thinking about the amount of weight I was carrying with chainsaws and fuel cans and all that, I went ahead and reinforced this top board by putting another board behind it and then running lag screws. But this is just an optional add-on if you really want to be able to carry a lot of equipment. It's basically a good way to keep all of your firewood supplies organized and in one place whenever you need them. I'm using a piece of 2-inch PVC to hold shovels and rakes and things like that. I've just got these little clamps that go over it. Screw it in. Alright, so you might be wondering why I put these eyelets right where I did and put this ratchet strap on. Well, if I'm going to load this full of something heavy that's going to lean against the sides, this will add strength to those sides. So if I have big rounds and I'm loading them in and they're kind of rolling down against that, I can put these on and tighten it down a little bit. Now my tailgate is holding it out and my ratchet is pulling it in. So those should be pretty firm. I'm also going to put some of these L brackets on the inside corners to add a little bit more strength. And then I'd say it's done. And I'll go ahead and get it onto the back of the tractor, take it out, and see if we can load some logs in there. So if you've been following my channel and you're wondering why you never see this carryall in use in my videos, the answer is, right after I built it, I hit a major subscriber milestone on the channel, and I announced I was doing a giveaway for a carryall. So we did a randomized drawing and chose a winner, and I delivered this carryall a couple hours away to a viewer. And I decided to build myself a second carryall, which never quite got finished, and I messed up on making it quick hitch compatible. So I've been meaning to get back to it and finish it because this would be really handy. Anyway, hopefully this video was helpful. I appreciate you taking time to watch. I'll put links on the screen to more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.